Hi everybody. Today I want to talk about those little aches and pains, or maybe those not so little aches and pains that you get, which indicate that your body is in somewhere is an inflamed condition. So if, for instance, you have achy joints in your shoulders or your fingers or anywhere else in your body, that's an inflammatory condition called arthritis. Now note the itis on the end. That signifies that it's an inflammatory condition. So if you have inflamed sinuses when you've got a cold, that's sinusitis. So those are the obvious ones where you feel pain in your body, and I'm going to talk about how you can use the right oils to reduce that inflammation component a lot. There is a growing consensus around the world that chronic inflammation is driving all of our chronic conditions. So, for instance, heart disease is being driven by inflammation in the heart and the blood vessels around it and in it. You don't feel that inflammation as pain. You do feel it when you have a heart attack, I believe, but you're not aware of that inflammation, which is driving your heart into a very unhealthy condition. And similarly, your brain doesn't have pain receptors. The headaches you get around the outside, not actually in the brain. And so if you have an inflamed brain, that's the beginning of conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's. How do you get an inflamed brain? Well, it's very much like getting a leaky gut. So something like gluten, which everybody's gut reacts to badly. It's just a matter of whether you're at the good end of the spectrum with hardly any noticeable effect, or the bad end of the spectrum whether you're a celiac and have major effect. Probably 60% of the population is in this group here, where it's doing some damage to your gut. If it's doing some damage to your gut, it'll be doing some similar damage to your blood-brain barrier, and be giving you a leaky brain. And believe you do not want to have a leaky brain. Things don't work very well when you have that. So how does the science of this work? Well, I'm going to revert to this little chart of mine, which talks about the omega-3 family and the omega-6 family. So these two here, ALA and LA, are the parent omega-3s that your body, and 6s that your body cannot make. You have to get it in your food. Most people get way too much of this and not enough of this. There's an enzyme blockage, which is basically happens with modern living. It regulates your body, down-regulates the production of this enzyme, and so you can't produce these other highly desirable fatty acids because of this down-regulation of this enzyme by modern living. So stress in particular, alcohol, lack of sleep, bad fats, damaged fats, all down-regulate this enzyme. The good news is if you get healthy sources of these, like you do in my oils, your body is capable of, because food is information to your body, so your body quite quickly upregulates this gene pathway, and you can produce these other fatty acids. So the ones I want, just before I forget, some chronic conditions like diabetes, this enzyme substance is permanently down-regulated, and you need to do something about that in the form of oils you take, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So once you get past this enzyme pathway, a body can make all these other ones very happily. And from these two here, your body makes, that's GLA and EPA, your body makes anti-inflammatory prostaglandins, they call, little signal molecules that drive so many metabolic factors in your body. It's unreal. It's really not a system you want to mess with. They're blue because they're anti-inflammatory. These guys in particular are very anti-inflammatory. You also have the PG2 family, made from arachidonic acid, AA, which are highly inflammatory. That's why they're in red, and you do not want lots of these. These AA comes from having too much of this in your body, and it comes from having a high red meat diet. Also is a source, dietary source of AA. But basically it's the balance of these two that drive this one in particular. Because the vast majority of the population have way too much, like somewhere between 10, 15, 20, even 30 times more of this in their body than they have of this. And that is seriously not good for your body and your health. So, yep, these prostaglandins here are the ones that are anti-inflammatory, and these are the ones. This is the one that's inflammatory. So how does that manifest in your body? Well, if you've got a cut, you've got lots of this guy here around the wound. It gets reddened and swollen and painful, and that's the healing process happening. So this is not a bad guy. It's just you've got to have it in balance with these two here. So the body can switch on this one to deal with the inflammation, the source of the inflammation, heal it, and then the production of it goes down. So it's always about the balance of these two here and this one here. And I have tackled that in this oil here, which called SuperBoost, a new one which because of the balance of the secondary omega-3s and 6s and the primary omega-3s and 6s, I believe is the most anti-inflammatory oil there is on the market, bar none. I haven't found anything like it in the world, so I'm quite proud of that, and it works. So yeah, so if you have a condition that's painful, it's not a chronic condition that's painful like arthritis or sinusitis or whatever, pain, then this is the oil for you. And you can, this is available from our website, waihibush.co.nz. So there you go, the most powerfully anti-inflammatory oil in the world. So thanks for your time. Bye.